So let's go ahead and jump into the first subject, which is Robert Saleh and Brant Boyer being part of this team. I got to say, this is the greatest start to the San Francisco 49ers offseason in recent memory. I've said this a few times already, but just to go over it. So we get rid of Nick Sorensen, right? I personally was like, if we kept him, whatever. I was like, if we kept him, what I see the argument is his rookie season, kind of, but if we got rid of him, there better be a plan. There better be a better option if we were to get rid of him. And there was. We ended up, and because of that better option, we ended up losing Brandon Staley, which is not really a loss at all, really, to be honest with you, because in the end, we got the best defensive coordinator on the market. The best possible option ended up coming to the San Francisco 49ers in Robert Saleh. And some people's concern, and I was like, is like, can he keep up with the new offenses these days? Back in the day, he was a great defensive coordinator, but how will he do now? As a head coach, he was phenomenal as a defensive coordinator. And that was as a head coach, right? We all know Jeff Ulbrich was more of a student, wasn't actually a defensive coordinator. He just had the title. It's kind of like what Clay Kubiak has of offensive coordinator for the 49ers right now. It's almost the same thing. It's like he's not really the offensive coordinator. Robert Saleh is the same thing, just on defense. He had an elite defense, stopped amazing teams, amazing offenses, the offenses that are up to date these days. Robert Saleh knows how to make that happen, how to stop them. He's innovative. He doesn't just stick to his old ways. He's constantly thinking of new ways to approach his defense, and he's usually pretty successful with it. Before he even got fired with the Jets, he was phenomenal. Held teams up to like 13, 10 points. I think he held one team to 20 points, but that's about it. Before he got fired, he was phenomenal at his job. And then once he left, you saw what happened with Jeff Ulbrich. The defense was atrocious. Wasn't nearly as efficient. Wasn't even close. Robert Saleh is the answer for the San Francisco 49ers, and we ended up getting him, which is a dream come true. And, of course, we lost Nick Sorensen, which is great. We got rid of Brandon Staley. He's not our defensive coordinator. He's gone, which is what every 49ers fan wanted. And, of course, we got rid of Brian Schneider, the worst special teams coach in the NFL. At least Nick Sorensen was mid, right? At least Nick Sorensen was mid as a defensive coordinator. Brian Schneider was just bad. He was the worst. And it's something we preached throughout the entire season. If he is this bad, you might as well get the janitor in there. Get something going in there. Anything at all. Because, like I said, with Nick Sorensen, there was something. But with Brian Schneider, there was nothing. Nothing at all. He's responsible for Jake Moody, by the way. I want you to know that. It came out that he's responsible for Jake Moody being on our team. So, and the holder, by the way, that everyone else wanted to complain about, hey, maybe the holder's making him worse. And that could be true, but guess what? He's responsible for the holder as well. So hopefully that's all been fixed, because the new special teams coordinator that we got, Brant Boyer of the Jets, it's probably because of Robert Saleh that we end up getting him in the end. Brant Boyer is fantastic. He has a track record that's phenomenal. Top 5, literally top 5 in just about every single category. The only time where everything kind of fell apart and wasn't as good was this previous year with the new kickoff rule. He was 29th in DVOA, which is terrible. But prior to that, he was either top 5, 4, 2, 2, and 2. He was phenomenal doing his job. Players speak absolutely highly of him. They love him. Pat McAfee, if you respect his opinion, speaks highly of him. Nobody talks bad about Brant Boyer and what he brings. He's only been a special teams coordinator, officially a special teams coordinator for the Jets. He was an assistant special teams coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts for 3 years, where Pat McAfee was a part of it, and so was Adam Vinatieri. So he knows what he's doing. He's probably the best possible option as special teams coordinator. So the 49ers not only ended up gambling, they gambled. Let's be real. They gambled, because if they didn't get Robert Saleh, they were going to be stuck with Brandon Staley, and not a lot of people were happy about that. Most 49ers fans were not going to be happy about that whatsoever. And we ended up, the 49ers take the gamble. A lot of 49ers content creators criticized Kyle for gambling on it, taking a chance on it, saying, well, you're waiting, we're losing this guy, we're losing this guy, we're losing this guy. Why are you taking a gamble? You might as well just take whatever you can and while you can. No, the 49ers took a gamble, and guess what? They won. Those 49ers content creators were proven wrong. So shout out to props, Kyle and John Lynch. You are having the greatest start to a 49ers offseason that I've ever fucking seen. I can't think of in recent memory one that's been better start than this. Usually there's something by now where it's controversial. Usually there's something that comes out where, oh my God, I didn't want that guy. Oh my God, why did we get this guy? There will at least be some sort of controversy, and there isn't. Like the consensus outcome has the consensus candidates we've got them. We got the best possible options, and that's just amazing. And from what I hear, just to jump into more of the news of Robert Saleh, from what I hear and what everyone's talking about, based on reports from Larry Krueger, Dave Lombardi, and a bunch of other people, Robert Saleh wants to be innovative, like he always has in the prior. He's always been kind of relatively innovative, always thinking of new ways and keeping up the new schemes. But he wants to go faster, and if he's able to say that and come out and say, "Hey, I want a faster defense," most likely he's going to have a say in the draft. He's going to have say in free agency. And that's something that we've been dying for. Like, hey, Kyle, stop dictating offense and defense. We need someone who's good at defense that can come in and you trust their word and what they have to say about the defensive line. And we got Robert Saleh, who will do exactly that. Robert Saleh is going to come into this defense and say, hey, I want this guy on defense. I want this guy, this fast guy here in the draft if we can get him, etc. That's what's going to happen. We now have a collaboration of minds. It's no longer just Kyle Shanahan's, like everyone just blaming Kyle Shanahan for every possible decision. You now have Robert Saleh, who's going to be able to collab with Kyle Shanahan. You're going to have a guy who's going to be able to have a say in things. This team that there's so far that's being built, I love it. I cannot wait for free agency. I cannot wait for the draft to see what we end up getting. And this special teams coordinator that we ended up getting too from the Jets as well, phenomenal. Give it, the previous year, considering the turmoil they went through, because that Jets team was absolutely atrocious. Okay, they were in turmoil. There was just bad energy all over the place, bad vibes. Not only that, the Jets special teams had to deal with five different kickers. That is a lot, dude. That's going to make your DVOA go down by a lot. That's make your extra points be bad. That's make your field goal percentage go bad. He was 20th in kickoff returns, considering the new kickoff rule. So that's not great, but give him a chance to develop, and hopefully he can adapt, because he does seem like a kind of guy who puts the work in. If he was second in special teams, fourth, second, and fifth special teams for the past like 6 or 5 years, I trust this guy, and I'm not gonna hold this one outlier year against him, right? I'm gonna take the potential that comes with this guy. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with this team. He's responsible for 5 Pro Bowlers, 2 of them all pro. He's got the talent. He's got the coaching chops. We just got to hope that he's not washed, and that 1 year is what he turns out to be in the end. That's the only thing we got to hope for. Outside of that, we got the best possible candidate special teams, and we got the best possible candidate defensive coordinator.